I'm here to give you an education, so sit down and learn something for once today. These smartwatches these days, they're getting pretty crazy, especially with the notion of becoming their own ecosystem. So what can we do when we have something that ties to an ecosystem? Well, we gotta pick one because we can't have two. Okay, we can have two. I have two of the best top dogs in the smartwatch market today, which is the Apple Watch Series 7 and the Huawei GT3 Pro watch. Ecosystem watches, they're tied to their operating system, offering the best in optimization, third-party apps, sensors, workout tracking, you name it, everything. But you see, even though these two are ecosystem exclusive watches, only one of them are able to bounce between the different realms of operating systems, and that is none other than the Huawei GT3 Pro. And I've known this for a very long time. I've been an active user of all things Apple Watch and Huawei GT series for many years. So obviously you would see me ending up with the latest models every time. But today I'm getting a little tired because we need to set the facts straight. For the people who don't really prefer the Apple Watch because of, I know, various reasons, like maybe they don't like square watches, the battery life sucks, or just the way it looks. I mean, it's square. And I would see why people would want to go for something different. And I guess Huawei this time around continues the legacy and offers you a second chance. So you have a smartwatch that they made that you can go between something like my P50 Pocket, an Android phone, or an iPhone. You can go on all three, and all you need to do is start with the Huawei Health app. But let's get into the nitty-gritty today, huh? And before that, I just want to say, I wouldn't say that things like chipset, RAM, and storage would determine which one is the better smartwatch, because I would look towards things like battery life, sensor, and what kind of apps that we're dealing with here, and of course the accuracy of the said sensors. But let's start with something simple, like from a design standpoint, the materials. So the base model of the Series 7, aluminum, 45 millimeters, Ion X glass. The Huawei GT3 Pro, leather strap, 46 millimeters, sapphire glass coating. That's insane. This is at least 2 levels higher in hardness rating compared to Apple's own Ion X glass. Aluminum, titanium. This is the tougher material. And I mean, that's a fact. Apple does offer titanium and sapphire material watches as well, but think of the premium we're about to pay. Price. And I'm just not being crazy here, okay? I know everyone's not a tech reviewer that requires you to change operating systems on smartphones every single time, so I get it. I'm talking about from a normal person's perspective where you would change your wearable maybe in 3 to 4 years' time. That's conservative numbers. So for navigation, both support touch and they have their own varying resolutions. The GT3 Pro is 1.43 inches in size, and the Apple Series 7 is 1.9 inches, which is a lot bigger. With that whole retina thing going on, it does look a little sharper on the Apple Watch. But it doesn't mean this is less sharp or less visually pleasing. You are looking at a small screen on your wrist. You don't have to be so particularly picky in this standpoint, but both of them are pretty much one of the sharpest smartwatch displays that you can find right now this year at least. And if touchscreens aren't your thing, they both feature side buttons and they both have their own rotating digital crowns that you can click to unlock or turn off and on, and a side button which you can set to a particular app shortcut if you're into that, otherwise it will just return you home. And now let's talk sensors. Obviously, these two companies has heavily invested into R&D to make these two very ideal fitness tracking devices. So here's the little table I made. Both smartwatches pack a lot of sensors into their cases, including a heart rate monitor, a barometer for your air pressure, an accelerometer for your movement tracking, a blood pressure monitor, and a VO2 max monitor, which measures the maximum rate of consumed oxygen. They both have their own wild cards though. The GT3 Pro has its own thermometer and a magnetometer. Did I say it like X-Men? Magneto. And Apple has its own way of tracking things, very important things, like fall detection. So all sensors work together to, detect whether you've fallen and then contact the appropriate emergency contacts to, well, save your life. There are hundreds of workouts that you can record using the G3 Pro, and I think that's kind of enough. Otherwise, you would be looking towards something like Apple Fitness Plus, which is a pay-per-month model where you get to watch an instructor show you how to get things done, and then you push it to your Apple Watch and it tells you how to do that workout and then monitors that data and your progress. Here, the AI kind of does it for you. You can work on your pace, you can work on your momentum and the next best steps. So I think that's pretty enough, whether you're lifting weights, you're rock climbing, you're playing golf, or even just cycling. Because there's just so many types of workouts that you would do on a common level. If there is a niche that you're doing, probably it could be in the G3 Pro already. So I can back that up. For me, I personally just run and lift weights. Sometimes I would just go on a cycle, but that's not very common. And last but not least, the battery life. Obviously, we both know who's the winner here. This guy. This one. If you're on just a casual use, with your push notifications on, always on display, we're talking 5 days. That's close to a week. And if you work out every single day, maybe at maximum 3 days with power saving before you need to charge this back up again. This one, if you're working out, well, better get your charger ready by the late afternoon, buddy. But charging it back up takes just over an hour. This one takes 3 hours, so take what you pick. At least this one, you don't need to carry a power bank and its charging cable everywhere. Whereas this one, yeah, you have to bring it everywhere you go. Connectivity wise, the Apple Watch, you're able to put in eSIM. This one gets an eSIM as well, but this has a little bit more difficulty in replicating an eSIM. You gotta use your phone to replicate the eSIM into the G3 Pro. So if that's what you're looking for, the Apple Watch has a better eSIM experience, but the fact remains that both are able to have eSIMs. Now, who's the winner? Well, for someone like me, who needs battery life for a wearable, this one. Style, this one still. Value, this one. But app experience, Apple for iPhone. Compatibility, GT3 Pro. Overall winner, GT3 Pro. That's my recommendation. It's cheaper too. I hope this video has helped you make a more cohesive, informed decision. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Zen the Geek. I'll see you guys in the next video. Watch out. Oh my god.